Hello everyone, and thanks for watching our previous video on Diction and Grammar webinar. So this is the day 2 video, and we really appreciate those who joined in for day 1, and we're going to be having a pre-recorded video on the diction part, word stress and intonation. Okay, so word stress is the act of pronouncing a particular syllable of a word with so much force that it sounds louder, longer, and clearer than any other syllable of the same word. So there are some syllables that are supposed to be pronounced loudly than the other, just like we have in our language. Using Yoruba for instance, we have the I think it's called speech sound, like do re mi, and one is going up, one is going down, and one in the middle, right? So this is still the same thing with word stress. So we have the stressed syllable and the unstressed syllable, and we have types of stress. We have the primary stress, second stress, and unstressed syllable. The primary stress takes the highest degree of force, like that's the major stress. For all polysyllabic words are words with 2 or more syllables. So for all polysyllabic words, there must be one primary stress, not more than one though, just one, which is like a dominating stress in that word. So you can actually have just the primary stress only, and you're having a complete word. And the second stress is the secondary stress. This is a stress syllable, but it's not as high as the primary stress syllable. We call the primary stress syllable the commanding stress, and we call the secondary stress syllable the begging stress. It's high, but not as high as the primary stress. And you can actually have a word without a secondary stress, like the word we had earlier. Most disyllabic words are words with 2 syllables. So most disyllabic words are having only primary stress, but you can't have a word where you have only secondary stress. Secondary stress is like a supportive stress, so it has to be before the primary stress, which is the commanding stress. So we have referee. You see, it's a little bit stressed, but not as stressed as the primary. Referee. And then the other one, magazine. So that's the stress. And for the unstressed syllable, it takes no stress at all. We do not apply any pressure to this part of the stress. So those are unstressed syllable. And another way to identify a primary stress is the use of the stress mark. Can you see the little stress mark up here in the primary stress? And then for the primary stress, the stress mark is up. For the secondary stress, the stress mark is down. And stress mark comes before the syllable itself. Before writing the syllable, the stress mark comes before it. So it comes in front of the syllable, right? And then for the unstressed syllable, it takes no stress mark because it takes no stress at all. So you don't apply any pressure while saying your unstressed syllable. Above, magazine. Do you understand? Now let's try to pronounce these words and find out where our stress is. So we have animal, that's the first syllable. Cinema, C. Festival, fe. Category, ca. Entertainment, tay. And we have the secondary stress, entertainment. Okay, so that's how to pronounce the words. You can try to pronounce the words by yourself. Animal, cinema, festival, category, entertainment. Alright, so we're moving on to intonation. So intonation is the rise and fall of the tone of your voice during speech. You don't just say a sentence straight like that. You need to rise at some point and fall at some point. So we're going to be giving instances when to rise and fall. So that boils down to the types of intonation we have. We have the primary, the rising tone and the falling tone. So the rising tone has instances. So when you're saying your yes or no questions are the same as polar questions. You rise. The major thing is rising at the end of the sentence. Are you in school? Are you in school? So you just make sure you rise at the end of the sentence. And then the incomplete sentences, those sentences you have before comma. Once upon a time, comma. When the party started, comma. These are incomplete sentences, and you have to rise while saying them because you still want to say something afterwards. The first one is yes or no questions. You're expecting a response from the person listening. The second one is incomplete sentence. You are going to say another thing after this, so you are keeping the conversation open for you to continue. So when I say on my way back, you're still expecting me to say something, not on my way back, as if you're saying like that's the whole sentence. Do you understand? Okay, so the next one is choices. You choose. When you're trying to choose between two things, I prefer rice to beans. Or you can have like, should we go now or later? Should we eat biscuits or tea? You are rising when you are making choices like that. And then listing items. When you're trying to say more than one items, you use your rising tone. So at the market, I bought rice, beans, banana, and potato. But at the end of the sentence, you have to fall. Do you understand? Now, for falling tone, we use falling tone for a complete sentence, exclamation, command, and WH question. And there's a little rule for WH question. We have to rise on the second word. So when you're saying a WH question, you rise on the second word. What is it? Is it? But the major thing is you're falling at the end of the sentence. So let's take the sentences. Let's start with the rising tone. Did you sleep well? Are you listening? Do you like football? Is he a brother? If they had told me, as soon as you are ready, unless they agree, even though I tried my best. And choices. Would you prefer rice to pasta? Is the meeting on Monday or Tuesday? Should we go now or later? Will you take the bus or train? And then for listing items, he plays football, basketball, and tennis. I saw Sarah, Tom, and David. We studied math, science, and history. And then for falling tone, I'm going to the market. We finished our homework. The weather is very hot today. There is a big house. Oh, what a big house. What a clever idea. What a surprise to see you here. How exciting the move was. And for comments, don't talk during the lesson. Always do your best. Close the door. Be quiet. What is your name? What is your name? Why are you late? How do you solve this problem? When did you arrive? So that's going to be all. Please go back to the examples and try to pronounce the words properly and also read in the right diction. So whenever you're saying any of these instances, try to use the correct intonation. This applies to all sentences that fall under this category. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.